Welcome to my presentation on Philips Healthcare, Crisis and Transformation. My name is Tom Wilson. This case focuses on the Philips CPAP recall and examines its underperformance in social responsibility and quality of management. The recall exposed organizational failures but also created opportunities for meaningful reform. To set the stage, let's begin with an overview of the company and the Fortune framework. Fortune evaluates admired companies on 8 dimensions, including innovation, social responsibility, and quality of management. Philips has been a global leader in health technologies, but in 2021, the recall of millions of CPAP and ventilator devices became a turning point. This event brought lawsuits, regulatory oversight, and reputational decline, FDA 2024. Let's look more closely at the major issue driving this crisis. The crisis was caused by foam used in Philips CPAP devices to reduce sound. Over time, this foam degraded and released particles and gases into patients' airways. These pose risks of cancer, respiratory illness, and other serious conditions. Robbins et al. 2023. Investigations showed Philips executives had been warned years earlier, but delayed action. Senzaper et al. 2023. This leads us to the specific dimensions where Philips failed to perform. Philips failed in 2 dimensions. First, it neglected social responsibility by failing to protect patients and delaying disclosure. Second, it showed weak quality of management through poor oversight and slow crisis response. These transparency failures significantly eroded trust. Patel, 2024. To understand the impact, we now turn to the consequences of this crisis. The ramifications were severe. Patients lost access to life-sustaining devices, and many reported worsened health outcomes. Philips has already paid more than $1 billion in settlements, with costs possibly reaching $10 billion, FDA 2024. Its stock value fell sharply, and reputational damage was global. To see how this unfolded internally, we must examine Philips' organizational structure. One root cause was structural. Research and compliance functions worked in silos, preventing critical safety information from reaching top leadership. A rigid hierarchy slowed decision-making, while accountability was weak. Cameron and Quinn, 2011, note that hierarchical cultures resist transparency, which was clearly evident at Philips. Beyond structure, the culture itself contributed to failure. Philips tolerated managerial incompetence by ignoring repeated safety warnings. As Robbins and colleagues, 2023, argue, innovative firms may accept failure, but cannot accept incompetence. Instead of fostering open reporting, Philips discouraged feedback, undermining its patient-first orientation. This cultural weakness connects directly to principles of conscious capitalism. Philips publicly claimed its purpose was to improve lives through innovation, but its actions showed a gap between purpose and practice. By prioritizing profits, it failed to protect its stakeholders. Conscious capitalism stresses purpose, culture, and stakeholder orientation. Mackey and Sisodia, 2014. Under new CEO Roy Jacobs, Philips has started emphasizing safety and care, signaling a cultural shift. To succeed, this change must follow a structured process such as Kotter's 8-step model. The first step is to create urgency by showing employees and stakeholders that survival depends on change. The second step is to form a guiding coalition, bringing together leaders, regulators, and patient representatives. This creates a foundation for vision and communication. Step 3 is developing a vision of Philips as a leader in patient safety. Step 4 is communicating that vision clearly across all levels of the company. When employees understand the vision, they are more likely to align their work with patient-first goals. The next step is to empower action and pursue small wins. Step 5 empowers employees by breaking silos and protecting whistleblowers. Step 6 is achieving short-term wins, such as repairing recalled devices and securing FDA approvals. These visible successes build credibility and momentum. To sustain progress, Philips must consolidate changes across the company. Step 7 consolidates gains by expanding reforms across product lines and divisions. Step 8 anchors these changes in the culture by linking performance evaluations and strategy to patient-first metrics. Still, Philips faces challenges that could slow or derail reform. Challenges include employee resistance, financial strain from lawsuits, and ongoing regulatory scrutiny. These pressures highlight the importance of aligning organizational subsystems to support change. To succeed, Philips must realign subsystems. HR should emphasize compliance training. R&D must enforce rigorous safety audits. Operations require stronger oversight. Finance must dedicate resources to remediation. Communication must focus on transparency to rebuild trust. These alignments reinforce change across the organization. Finally, we turn to the lessons learned. In conclusion, the Philips CPAP recall shows the cost of neglecting social responsibility and quality of management. Prevention is far cheaper than remediation. Transparency and collaboration are essential. And above all, healthcare organizations must maintain a patient-first culture. With Cotter's model and conscious capitalism, Philips can rebuild credibility and restore trust. Thank you.